Hey guys, and welcome back to another Hu Tao video. Now that I've gotten Hu Tao's talents to level 6 across the board, I think I can give a decent review on White Tassel Hu Tao. But before I begin, I should point out that I am still farming for artifacts on her, so video clips aren't going to be showing top damage on a White Tassel Hu Tao. I also don't use the best in-slot team comps, mostly because I don't have a Shinshu built, at all. But without further ado, let's get on with the topic of this video.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Woo!
Hu Tao, aka Walnut, has taken storm since her reveal back in February, giving rise to a bunch of fans, shrimps, and the like. Initial thoughts from the general masses made her out to be a crazy OP main DPS character with similarities to Childe and Xiao. Upon her release, early testing brought us to realize that she plays a bit more like Kaching in managing her stamina with charged attacks. To some, that was a challenge one yearned for. To others, it was a straight up turnoff. After all, no stamina means no dodging, meaning taking damage, and that's something you want to avoid as much as possible. I myself do not like to manage my stamina to that extent, and this did make Hu Tao less appealing for me. Enough so that I am considering building my Diluc instead. But for the ones that stayed loyal to her cause, they were now set on to the next challenge, finding a weapon. To those that had the funds and were not cursed with misfortune, Staff of Homa was a no-brainer. It is hands down the best weapon for Hu Tao, no strings attached. It is broken to no end at R5. For those on a budget, one of the more interesting choices ended up being the White Tassel, a weapon only achievable of acquiring through the many treasure chests one can find across Teyvat. Despite being a 3-star weapon, the White Tassel proved to have quite a bit of appeal. Getting it to R5 was really easy so long as you don't use it for weapon experience, and it gives the very sought out critical chance, allowing one to focus a little more on other stats in your artifacts. With such appeal and ease of building, this is the weapon I decided to go with. My other spears were not ideal for Hu Tao, and I have no 5-star weapons, much less one for Hu Tao. And I do not have a Dragon's Bane, so White Tassel was in fact my best choice. So how was the White Tassel in the end? First off, as mentioned previously, the crit chance, although small in comparison to higher rank weapons, does help significantly. Alongside Hu Tao's innate crit damage upon her ascensions, this really helps in maintaining a good 1-to-2 ratio with crit chance and crit damage, and can let you focus a little less on getting them for artifact substats. Moving on to White Tassel's passive skill, Sharp, as it is called, it gives a 48 increase in normal attack damage at R5. That's amazing for sure, but what some may not know is that this does not apply to her charged attacks. Considering that charged attacks is the bread and butter of Hu Tao's damage, why would this weapon be good on her? Well, the truth of the matter is that most people like myself have Hu Tao at C0. At C1, Hu Tao does not consume stamina when she uses her charged attacks, allowing for her charge attacks to be spammed while in her E state. However, at C0, you cannot do this, and will require to use her normal attacks between charge attacks and her burst. The 48% attack increase from White Tassel helps reduce that damage difference between her normal attack stream and her charged attacks, which is why White Tassel is a good option for Hu Tao, and is the reason why I did not give up on building her. Having used White Tassel since the beginning and not really testing any other weapon outside of a brief stint with Prototype Star Glitter, while I was still leveling up my White Tassel, how do I feel about using Hu Tao? Well, I think she's just okay. She's definitely a lot of fun to use in the overworld where I can spam her charge attacks as much as I want without much consequence, and burning everything in my path is fun to watch for sure. Although it is still clear that her charge attacks do more damage than her normal attacks, I am satisfied with her damage output from her normal attacks with a White Tassel equipped. Outside of the benefits a white tassel provides, I do not like using her charge attacks in the more difficult content, as it will too often have me fighting with the camera or target the wrong character, putting me out of range from other mobs. Players without much skill like myself should use her charge attacks on single targets for the most part, while using her normal attacks and burst when there's multiple enemies on the field. In general, I prefer my characters to have a healthy amount of HP at all times, so I don't end up using her low HP benefits often. She really benefits from a shield character though. In my opinion, Diona is one of the best choices to have as a shield support character for Hu Tao. She is able to reduce stamina consumption, but I should also note that I don't have a Zhongli to make a full comparison. That being said, with her high skill requirement to use her optimally, I would recommend Diluc over her if you want an easier time with more consistent damage. But if you want to see bigger numbers and are okay having an 8-second window, then Hu Tao is definitely for you. Despite my discontent towards Hu Tao's caveats, I still continue to farm artifacts for her, and will still use her. I likely won't use her much on harder content like floors 11 and 12 of Spiral Abyss, but she does have the added benefits of being a waifu. And that is pretty much what I think of Hu Tao. And with that, this is the end of the video. Let me know what you think. Do you guys have a Hu Tao? Did you end up not liking her playstyle? Did it make you go for her C1? Because I'll be honest, I kind of want her C1. Maybe on her eventual rerun. But who knows when that will happen. Oh well. Until next time guys, adieu and goodbye.